So let's talk about this fascinating story involving actor Johnny Depp confronted with his own words today under intense and graphic cross-examination in his $50 million defamation suit against his ex-wife Amber Heard. Let's discuss now. Joe Tacopina is here. He's a criminal defense attorney. Joe, good to see you. Long time since you've been on the program. It's good to have you on. So I just want to play some of what we have heard during the cross-examination of Johnny Depp. Amber Heard's attorney reading text messages Johnny Depp sent to another actor, and just a warning, they are graphic and frankly, they are pretty gross. Watch this.
After you said, "Let's drown her before we burn her," Mr. Depp, you said, "I will her burnt corpse afterwards to make sure she is dead." That's what you said that you would do after you burned her and after you drowned her. Did I read that right?
You certainly did, yes.
And you wrote that about the woman who would later become your wife?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Joe, I mean, it's revolting. Day 3 of this trial. How is Johnny Depp coming across?
You know, it is revolting, and clearly he's troubled. But, you know, I don't think it's a one-way street here, honestly, Don. Look, he's coming across as someone who's troubled, who has a need to express himself in the most vile way. You know, but as far as the damage being done on cross-examination, quite frankly, it's they're making, you know, obviously they're using Depp's own words. But on the other hand, you know, Amber Heard's own words have come back to haunt her in this trial. I mean, you know, she's admitted on surreptitious audio recordings that she hit Depp, that she started and escalated fights. So I think they're both coming across as pretty troubled people. And fact of the matter is, Don, I mean, I think this is probably why there should be some law in this country about Hollywood actors marrying each other. I really do. It just seems to be a reoccurring theme. You know, we have Brad Pitt and Angelina, and it's really sad to watch this unfold. They have children, by the way. You know, I mean, Johnny has children anyway, and just to see this unfold in public is sad. It's their private, really horrific personal lives.
Well, listen, this isn't part of a divorce proceeding, but as you know, divorces, you know, they're tough. Breakups are tough, and especially when it becomes public like this. I want to play, Joe, I want to play another, something else that they said. Now, again, the warning, I have to warn you about the language. Here it is.
On January 17th, 2013, Mr. Depp, you texted the following: "For the idiot cow," 3 exclamation points. Next text: "Will do. I'll smack the ugly around before I let her in. Don't worry." And apologies again to the court and the jury for this language. And then you close by saying, "Did that worthless hooker arrive?" Did I read that right?
You did, sir.
So how do you think the jury's going to respond to this, especially when yesterday Depp was claiming Amber Heard was the aggressor?
Well, look, those are words. I mean, look, I'm not trying to defend Johnny Depp here, Don. I'm not. I'm honestly, I don't know who to believe in this case. I really don't. And Rick, quite frankly, I think the truth lies somewhere in the middle. I think they were both culpable. I think they're both responsible. Amber Heard's acknowledged and admitted to hitting and punching and physically abusing Johnny Depp. He clearly has done the same. So I think this was a volatile, violent relationship. And, you know, but this is a defamation lawsuit. And I think what part of this is going to be Depp saying, listen, you wrote this article in the Washington Post, this op-ed, painting yourself to be a complete victim. Nowhere in that article did you happen to mention you also physically abused me and punched me and, you know, put a cigarette butt out of my face and severed part of my finger or bruised my cheek as well. And again, I'm not defending him. I'm just not, because I don't know who to believe in this case, but I think the truth lies somewhere in the middle, Don.
What do you think is going and what do you think is going to happen when Amber Heard takes a stand, Joe?
More of the same. I think what you're seeing now is going to, you know, look, I think she'll be more, not that Johnny Depp's not composed, but his words are vile. They're vile words. I mean, clearly he expressed himself. I think he clearly has a problem with substance abuse, alcohol, whatever it's going to be. I mean, he's acknowledged doing both. He sounds drunk on half these recordings. I think it's going to be more of the same. Maybe not quite as volatile, whatnot, but there are recordings of Amber Heard where she's admitted to doing things to Johnny Depp that, you know, she wouldn't want to have played in public arena. So I think it's going to be more of the same. And it's crazy that this was brought by Johnny Depp. Don't forget, this is not a divorce. This is a defamation lawsuit. He brought this knowing those things were out there and knowing this was going to be part of the evidence received in this case. And that's what's really troubling. And don't forget, this is a First Amendment case, right? I mean, he's considered a public figure. So in order for him to prevail in this case, on a defamation case, Don, there has to be a showing that there was actual malice, okay? That Amber Heard made these statements, and we're talking about that Washington Post article, with knowledge that they were false or reckless, and that they were clearly, not
Malicious.
accurate.
Yeah.
And that's the standard. It's a high
That there was
standard.
malicious intent. Yeah, it's a very high standard. But I mean, listen, some of the testimony. Listen, he has a right to defend himself. He has a right to bring this case. And some of the things you're hearing from both sides are very disturbing. But again, you don't know what's going to happen in this case. Maybe he will set a precedent. But Joe, before I let you go, I've got to ask you about this because this is news and it's very important news for the country. You're representing Kimberly Guilfoyle. Everyone knows Kimberly is Donald Trump Jr.'s fiance, a former member of Trump's presidential campaign. Can you share anything about her meeting that just happened earlier this week with the January 6th committee?
Don, honestly, not really, except that it did happen. There was 9 hours we spent in Washington with members of the committee and counsel, and she was asked questions for 9 hours, and she answered all the questions honestly, truthfully, and there was really no fanfare. It was very uneventful, very straightforward. There was, quite frankly, they treated her with respect, and she answered with respect, and it went much smoother than I anticipated it was going to go. But there was every question they asked, she answered truthfully, and again, my position from day one on this has been she's got nothing to hide. She can only tell the truth, and she has no legal culpability in this whatsoever. So that's about it.
So there was no contention, and she answered willingly, didn't take the Fifth or what have you.
Did not exert the Fifth Amendment once.
Okay. Joe, thank you. I appreciate you joining us and talking about both of those stories. We'll see you soon.
Okay, Doc.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Bye.